I've been tutoring almost 35 years now. Actually, originally I was in the entertainment business, and I went from full-time music to full-time painting. So the first year was very much hand to mouth, and I took a teaching job at Blackheath Creative Arts Group, which was from 10 every morning till 1 in the afternoon. And I used to get $50, and it just saved me, particularly that first year where it was very shaky. Originally I was a student at Charles Sturt University for a couple of years, and then I was invited to teach there, and that was 36 years ago actually now. I think in hindsight I'd been painting for about 12 years before I went full-time, and in hindsight I really wasn't quite good enough. I remember sort of thinking I'm hanging tenuously to the bottom of the professional ladder. The big thing was that there was a lot of incentive to work hard and try and improve my work as much as possible, particularly in the first couple of years. Look, I think I was very lucky to meet Les Graham. I remember going to an exhibition and Les's paintings, he was the guest artist, and Les's paintings were there, and I remember looking at them and thinking they were just so good. I just couldn't believe that someone could paint so well. Anyhow, I found out who Les was and where he lived, and after a couple of weeks I plucked up enough courage to ring him up and ask if I could come and meet him. And Les was very kind, and he invited us in, and I left some 4 or 5 hours later. And that was the start of a long friendship, and Les and I began to paint together, and he was a great influence, particularly in the early years of my painting career. Look, it's a fantastic area. It's close enough to the city to enjoy all the benefits of the city. But from a painter's point of view, I can be out on the cliffs painting in 10 minutes from here. I can be in Megalong Valley in 30 minutes. I can be in Capertee Valley in 2 hours. It's really a perfect place to be based. Mountains, of course, it's just beautiful, lovely fresh air. We've got a wonderful environment, and we have it all to ourselves when the tourists go home each afternoon. Look, having lived here all my life, I still find it really, really inspiring. I mean, to be out painting on the cliffs, it's always just so challenging. I mean, you're there on the cliffs and you're looking down the valley thousands of feet below, and you're looking into the distance for kilometres. And I suppose one of the greatest challenges is how do you get that feeling of looking down and looking at the distance and the magnificence, of some of the scenes here. It's just incredible. I'd say that what you need, number one, is passion. Number two is a small amount of knowledge as to what happens in the landscape. And number three, many, many, many brush miles. I think painting's like music. Really, you have to learn your instrument. You have to learn to read music. You have to learn to play your instrument. You've got to practice hard. You don't necessarily have to be a concert pianist, but you have to be competent enough on your instrument to interpret the song the way you want to play it, to put your interpretation or your spin onto it. And the analogy with painting is the same. You really need to learn the craft of painting. And that really means you must practice and practice and practice until you don't have to worry so much about mixing colours or drawing, that you've then got the tools to start interpreting the landscape the way you feel it should be interpreted. I remember painting out near Bathurst once. It's just one of those balmy hot summer afternoons. The country was browned off. The insects were in the air, and I'd stopped. I was just having a cuppa sitting against an old gum tree. And I remember looking at it all and thinking, how do you paint a summer afternoon? I like most artists, all I ever wanted to do was paint pictures. And slowly I realised that there was a lot more to making a living as an artist, as painting pictures. Probably one of the first things I did was to open our gallery here at Katoomba in the Blue Mountains. There was always requests to teach, so I began teaching which led to our annual Katoomba workshops here. So this year alone we've had almost 90 people attend the workshops. People from Perth, well, all over Australia, New Zealand, and this year one from the UK. Our workshops here, of course, lead on to other workshops, and each year we do a number of overseas teaching engagements, as well as selected workshops on the Australian workshop circuit. It's the story of the donkey and the carrot. The carrot is always just right in front of us, but occasionally we almost get a bite.
John has been painting for 47 years and 38 as a professional artist, and has had 49 solo exhibitions. John has exhibited in Los Angeles, London, Toronto, Canada, Osaka, Japan, and Beijing, China. He's a fellow of the Royal Art Society and patron of the Society of Mountain Artists. His studio gallery are located in Katoomba in the beautiful Blue Mountains of New South Wales.